Assalamu alaikum students. I'm Dr. Habib Rehman from CHS, and today we'll be discussing, as I've already given the lecture on this subject, it's about accidents, injury, and its prevention. As you all know, that the guidelines that are provided by GSMU are very crucial for not only for learning, for also for examination purposes. So I'll go through these learning objectives, starting with, in this lecture, we'll be describing the accidents, and then we'll describe the epidemiology of the accidents and injury. Then we'll explain about the risk factors for different types of injuries. And lastly, we'll discuss measures in prevention and control of accidents and injury. As you all know that somehow or the other, mm, people have faced this phenomena of being part of an accident in their life, or they have witnessed some kind of accidents in their life. So we'll start with we'll start with not the definition, but we'll go through what accidents are. Accidents and injuries are a significant public health problem worldwide, resulting in substantial morbidity, mortality, and economic loss. As future healthcare professionals, it is essential to understand the causes, risk factors, and prevention strategies for accidents and injuries. As we are from public health and community medicine, the main focus of our lecture is basically based on prevention strategies, and of course, the epidemiology of the epidemiology. Epidemiology is basically to collect the data about the accidents and to analyze it. So that is also important for us. Now the next slide. Now these two definitions I've noted from Ansari, the compendium, or the Pakistani compendium, that is the book of choice for study. And the second one is from Indian author K. Park. What Ansari defines, um, an accident is an unplanned event that results in harm or injury to individuals, damage to property, or both. What is he saying? An accident is an unplanned event that results in harm or injury to individuals, either individuals, or a damage to the property, or both. Now, K. Park defines it as accidents, again, that accidents are unexpected events that result in physical harm or injuries to individual or damage to property, or both. Now we'll move more forward. Epidemiology of accidents and injury. In Pakistan, accidents are significant public health problem with a high incidence of road traffic accidents, falls, and other types of injuries. So, to account that, Shwak says that the accidents are the most prominent type of road traffic accidents are the most prominent type of accidents that occur in Pakistan. The epidemiology of accidents and injury involves understanding the frequency, distribution, and determinants of accidents and injuries in the population. Now, about the epidemiology, we'll move more forward. Accidents are leading cause of death and disability worldwide. In 2019, injuries accounted about 11% of global deaths. Now, this is a very big ratio, with 4.4 million injury-related deaths occurring annually. Now, 4.4 million means that about 44 lakh people around the world die due to the injury-related deaths. Males and young adults are disproportionately affected. This means that the males and the young adults are the most vulnerable population in this regard. Low and middle income countries bear a significant burden with 90% injury related to deaths occurring in these regions. Now, this is another dilemma that low and middle income countries like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Iran, and other developing countries in African states, and even middle income countries are the most significant burden holders of this problem. As you can appreciate in this picture, that a person, a man is wearing a plaster, and then there is a car, damaged car, probably after an accident, surely after an accident. Now, road traffic accidents are the leading causes, that is, it accounts to about 1.35 million deaths, followed by falls, that is about 696,000, and drowning is 295,000, and burns, that is about 180,000 deaths are caused by these fatalities. Now, explaining further, here are some common types of accidents. Types of accidents. Road traffic accidents, crashes involves cars, trucks, motorcycles, bicycles, or pedestrians. Now, this is the most dangerous thing. Pedestrians are involved. The second one is workplace accidents, injuries or illnesses occurring at work, such as slips, falls, or exposure to harmful substances. And of course, home accidents that involve injuries occurring at home, such as falls, burns, and poisoning. Now, falls are the elderly people are the most prominent burden holders of falls, and poisoning is usually the novice, the young adults, and particularly infants are the most prominent burden holders of poisoning, usually in any society around the world. Now, about sports and recreation accidents, injuries occurring during physical activities such as sprains, strains, or broken bones. And industrial accidents include accidents occurring in industrial settings such as factory fire or explosions. And of course, in agriculture, accidents occurring on farms or ranches such as equipment rollovers or even animal attack, particularly during the cattle husbandry. That includes big animals, including cows, bulls, and buffaloes. On number seven, it's about the aviation accidents, that is, crashes or other incidents involving aircraft, horrific, and then marine accidents that includes accidents occurring on boats or ships, such as collisions or capsizing, and railway accidents that includes crashes or other incidents involving trains. Then there are natural disasters that include injuries and fatalities resulting in natural disasters like earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, and floods. Medical accidents, adverse events occurring in healthcare settings such as medication errors or surgical complications, and food and beverage accidents that include accidents related to food and beverage consumption such as choking or food poisoning. And then, of course, there is environmental accident that includes accidents caused by environmental factors such as air or water pollution, transportation accidents, accidents occurring during transportation such as bus or train crashes, and recreational accidents that includes accidents occurring during leisure activities such as theme parks, accidents, or drowning. Now, the risk factors. Now let's discuss the risk factors of accidents and injuries. Road traffic accidents that includes speeding, driving under influence of alcohol or psychoactive substances, non-use of motorcycle, helmet, seat belts, and child restraints. Um, and then there is distracted driving, unsafe road infrastructure, unsafe vehicles, inadequate post-crash care, inadequate law enforcement traffic laws. Workplace accidents include unsafe working conditions, inadequate training or supervision, poor maintenance of equipment or machinery, fatigue or overwork. This is usually the case because the laborers are forced or even allude into longer hours in provision of extra money and stress or mental health issues. This is the second point, the next point, and inadequate safety gear or equipment. Now, students, these factors also include home accidents. This is particularly regarding falls due to slippery floors, uneven surfaces, and it is usually because elderly are more prone. And then poisoning of medication, household chemicals. Usually, the bottles that are used for beverage consumptions are sometimes used for keeping detergents or some kind of chemicals that includes acids, and usually the children are the host of these mishaps. And then burns. Now, burns is typically unplanned. It can be due to hot water, electric appliances, and then cuts and lacerations that include sharp objects, broken glass, and of course, suffocation, choking on food or any object. This is the choking on food is common also with the children, but choking on objects is very common, and it can be due to the coins which were in vogue in the previous years, but now usually we are not familiar with using coins. But still, any object can can cause this fatality. Now, sports accidents. Sport accidents include that inadequate safety gear or equipment, also has poor supervision on training, that is no trained coaches for training the sportsmen, and of course over exertion. Forgive me for this, over exertion or fatigue, or and playing with reckless or aggressive behavior that can be dangerous for the participant himself and also or herself, and also to the other teammates. And also, of course, lastly, the environmental factor that includes slippery surfaces, extreme weather. Now, you must have seen that when there is a raining season, and during some sports, it rains sometimes, and then they have to cover the grounds, the football ground or even the cricket playing ground. This is to save the field from water and the sportsmen from getting these injuries. Now, about industrial accidents that include unsafe working conditions, inadequate training or supervision, poor maintenance of equipment or machinery, and also fatigue and overwork, and of course stress or mental health issues and inadequate safety care of equipments. Of course, we have discussed this before, but agriculture accidents include equipment rollover or malfunction, animal attacks that include bull attacks, and falls from ladders or equipment and exposure to harmful substances. Yes, this is very common. Exposure to harmful substances like pesticides and inadequate training and supervision, both in case of animal husbandry and in even cases of pesticide. Aviation accidents include pilot error or fatigue and or mechanical failure or poor maintenance, weather conditions, example, fog, turbulence, air traffic controls errors, inadequate safety procedures, or not following the protocol. Now, the marine accidents, now you have all seen that they can be very dangerous. One of the two Pakistani, the son of a Pakistani billionaire, suffered from this. We have all heard this on news that they were on an expedition, joy expedition in a submarine, and they lost their life. So marine accidents include human error or navigation mistakes, equipment failure or poor maintenance, weather conditions that include storms, rough seas, inadequate safety gear or equipment, and inadequate training or support. Railway accidents include human errors or signal mistakes, equipment failure, or poor maintenance, weather conditions, example, fog, icy tracks, inadequate safety procedures or protocols, and inadequate training or supervision. Now, natural disasters include living in an area prone to natural disasters. We have seen on the news is that the Turkey was the main sufferer in the last 2 years, and it included inadequate preparedness or emergency response, and poor building structures and poor building construction and structural integrity is not up to mark. And of course, environmental factors including flooding, landslides. Pakistan has suffered in the last 2 years, particularly the lower riverine. The lower part of Pakistan, including South Punjab and Sindh, have suffered from flooding. We have seen heavy rains in Karachi, and that has caused local life disruption. And of course, these factors of other than also include medical accident, that includes human error, that is example medication mistakes, equipment failure or poor maintenance, inadequate training or supervision. This is very crucial, should not be there. And inadequate safety procedures also, this is very crucial. And of course, patient factors, allergies, we do not know about the patients, and sometimes some medications can be life-threatening and then can cause fatality and morbidity in the patients. Now, this is the regarding food and beverages accident. Now we are in the warm season, and you know that food can go bad, and that can also cause contamination and can lead into food poisoning. It then can, and sometimes there are some allergies regarding food, particularly nuts. That includes peanuts and some other stuff. And choking hazards are always there. Inadequate food handling and or preparation, and also inadequate labeling or warning. Environmental accidents, as I've already mentioned, that includes exposure to harmful substances, in inadequate safety wear or equipment, inadequate training or supervision, and environmental factors that include air or water pollution, and inadequate regulations or enforcement. Transportation accidents. Now, transportation accidents includes human error. Of course, there is always human error, and you've seen many of the accidents are due to human error. That is driver fatigue. Again, they are lured into working on um, very long hours, and that can be life-threatening, not for them, but for the others commuting on the roads. And it also includes equipment failure of poor maintenance. That is that sometimes there is no brakes or the vehicle has some other issues. And of course, weather conditions are very challenging, includes fog and icy roads, inadequate safety procedures or protocols, and inadequate training by supervisors. Recreation accident that includes inadequate safety gear or equipment, poor supervision or training, overexertion or fatigue, and of course, playing reckless or aggressive behavior. That is the same with the sports accidents. And again, we are discussing traffic accidents that includes speeding, driving under influence of alcohol, non-use of motorcycle helmets, distracted driving, unsafe road infrastructure, unsafe vehicles, inadequate post-crash care, inadequate law enforcement of traffic laws. Now, we've discussed about the risk factors and the factors that can cause. Now we'll discuss about the prevention. Prevention and control measures vary depending on the type of accident or injury, but there are some general measures that can be applied, including prevention and control measures should be tailored to the specific context of a hazard and should be continually evaluated and improved. It's not that you just find a standard, develop a standard. No, you have to continually evaluate it, do research on it, and improve it if there are room for improvement. And of course, there is always room for improvement. Now, how we will prevent and control these accidents? By educating and training, of course, the individuals on safety procedures, first aid, and emergency response. We'll tell them to follow the safety regulations, that to enforce safety regulations and standards in workplace. Public places and industries safety equipment includes provide and ensure use of personal protective equipment such as PPE. That is example for PPE is helmets, gloves, and safety glasses. And this fact, risk assessment was always we have to do the risk assessment and to conduct regular risk assessment to identify potential hazards and implement control measures. And of course, maintenance and repair. Yes, of course, there are always wear and tear, and regularly maintain and repair equipment, vehicles, and infrastructure to prevent infrastructure includes the roads to prevent mechanical failures. Now, students. Of course, there should be always supervision and monitoring to ensure adequate supervision and to detect and prevent unsafe behavior. And of course, there should be emergency preparedness that if the accident occurs, we are able we are able to control it to the fact that and develop and implement emergency responses plans and conduct regular drills. Not only so that we are prepared. Drills are this is very important that we go under and conduct regular drills and environmental control. That includes factors such as noise, temperatures, and lighting to prevent accidents. And then engineering controls, implement engineering controls such as guardrails, barriers, and safety nets to prevent accidents, enforcement and compliance, enforcement, safety laws and regulations, and ensure compliance with safety standards. Then there is research and development, and then community engagement that to raise the awareness and investigating the incident is crucial and safety policies and procedures should be implemented and employee participation encouraging employee participation in safety efforts and empower them to report safety concerns. Now, students, this is all about the accidents, injuries, and its prevention. Thank you all for listening. Have a nice day.